Good morning, everyone. It's Amanda from Southern Designs, and I'm here with this week's Southern Tip. So today is the last day in our 5-week series of knowing how to extend your social media reach. So today we are talking about how to know the importance of knowing where your tribe are online. I'm just going to, while we're waiting for people to pop on in, I'm just going to jump over here onto Facebook and make sure that I am going live. And yes, I am. And that way I can see your comments coming up today. As you jump on in, say hi. If you think this is a bit, we'll try that again. The beauty of live, eh? Okay, as you jump on in, say hi so I can say hi back to you. And if you're catching me on the replay, just hashtag replay so I know that you're watching me on the replay. As always, ask your questions so I can do my best to answer them for you. I love to answer your questions. I love to help you out. Once again, it's Amanda from Southern Designs here with this week's Southern Tip. So let's get the content on the go now. Okay, so knowing where your audience online is actually quite important in terms of when you're working out your social media strategy. And so there's a couple of reasons for that, mostly because you want to know where to place your efforts. So once you know your audience, so who are your audience? What age group are they in? So once you've defined all of your audience avatar, a lot of people call them your ideal customer, all of those sorts of names for your audience. Who is your ideal client? So once you've defined all of that, you've got a fair idea then of sort of what they're looking for and what types of social media they're likely to be using. And if you know what types of social media they're likely to be using, you then know where you can actually focus your efforts on social media. So for example, a crafty type person, if you're in a craft or crafty type area, your audience might be, your media type might be better suited to, example, focusing on Pinterest, because a lot of crafty people go to Pinterest for information. So knowing, that's the importance really of knowing where your audience are online. Like my audience, for example, I appeal to female entrepreneurs looking to get help with their social media. So for me, for example, I have a mixture of 2 platforms that my audience are on. My older, sort of more mum, over the age of sort of 25, 30, usually a mum type audience, they're usually hanging out here on Facebook because that's more convenient for them. But the younger half of my audience, sort of the under 25s, they tend to actually hang out on Instagram. So I cater for both types of people by posting onto Instagram and onto Facebook in a fairly balanced strategy so that I'm appealing to both kinds of people. So knowing who your audience is very much key to knowing where they'll be online. Like there are so many ways you can work this out. You've just got to know, but the biggest part of this is really defining who you are targeting. Asking yourself, who do I want to target? Who do I want as my customer? Who do I want to be working with? Once you know that, you can then do lots of Google research to work out where that kind of audience spends their time. And it's going to be very industry dependent. So like I mentioned earlier, the craft people, they might be inclined to spend more time on Pinterest and even YouTube. I know when I was making jewelry, I spent a lot of time hanging out on YouTube to learn the different techniques I wanted to learn to create the things I wanted to create. So that can be a viable option for some people. Yes, I do have a YouTube channel because YouTube is an answer for a lot of things. There is an awful lot you can learn over on YouTube. So YouTube can be a really, excuse me a second, can be a really, really good channel for a lot of businesses. There is also, I said, you got Pinterest. You got, like, if you're after a really young, sort of late teens, early 20s audience, sometimes depending on what you sell or what your service or product is, Snapchat, which is a very visually based program, might actually be a better option for you. So you've got to look at the who your audience are and how, as a general rule, they interact with social media. And once you know that, it tells you where to focus your efforts. So hopefully this has been useful for you today. And as always, if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments and make sure you do me a favor and share the video out to those you think can you get some help from it. And I will be back next week with a brand new Southern tip. Now, I've got some feedback from you guys, so I'm not sure which one I'm going to do first. I know a few of you are looking for things like time management, Instagram, stories, TV. Hey, Kendi, um, all of that sort of thing. So just let me know what your preference is to do first. And I know I've got to do some research also on the privacy issues in terms of having a privacy statement and things like that at the end, at the bottom of your pages for a couple of you. So just let me know what your preference is for the next set of topics we cover so that I can make sure that I'm actually looking after your needs, because I'm here to help you. I'm here to serve. Anyway, that's me done for this week. I will see you next week. Bye for now.